Namaskar, this is Firstpost and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. The Trump tariffs are here. Just as Donald Trump promised on the campaign trail, 25% on imports from Mexico and Canada, 10% on China. He's fired the first salvo in his tariff war. But how is the world reacting? Why did President Trump spare India in round one? And how will these tariffs impact Americans? We'll bring you special reports on the Trump tariffs. Also on the show, Elon Musk wants to shut down US aid. What impact will this have? ChatGPT is getting a new feature, an agent that does the research for you. Is this OpenAI's way to catch up with China's DeepSeek? In Japan, Muslims are struggling to bury the dead. Why is Donald Trump bombing Somalia? Cities across the world are dealing with growing rat populations, and the culprit apparently is climate change. Nearly 200 earthquakes struck Greece's Santorini in just 4 days. And what is Forductivity? New work lingo that's doing the rounds. All this and more coming up. First up, the headlines. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu arrives in the US. He will meet President Donald Trump tomorrow. It will be Trump's first meeting with a foreign leader since returning to the White House. Netanyahu says defeating Hamas and countering Iran are on top of his agenda. The meeting comes as talks are set to begin on the second stage of the Gaza ceasefire. French Prime Minister set to force through the country's budget without a vote. The move is likely to prompt a no-confidence motion, which could topple his minority government. The Prime Minister has been in office for less than 2 months. He is Macron's 6th Prime Minister since 2017. Syria's interim president to visit Turkey tomorrow. This is his second international trip since the ouster of Bashar al-Assad. He went to Saudi Arabia on Sunday. Ankara has had close ties with Syria's new leadership. Talks with President Erdogan will focus on reviving the war-ravaged country's economy. US President Donald Trump cuts all future funding to South Africa, accusing Pretoria of confiscating land and mistreating certain people. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa denies the accusations, but his government's bid to address the land inequality has been divisive. And South Africa unveils the largest Hindu temple in the Southern Hemisphere. The temple is located in Johannesburg. Less than 2% of South Africans identify as Hindu, but it is the most followed religion among the country's Indian community. We're calling the show Vantage. We hope you like what we put together for you. And touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout this week. Yes, Hindu Mandir in we're on our way to Tel Aviv. Team measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think that
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office. Prime Minister Modi did the iron.
We were actually
How are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote effort. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 4.300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines. Detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT, only on Firstpost.